On the morning of February 14, 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina. The night before had been unremarkable. Asha, her parents, and her older brother O'Brien had spent the evening together, and a storm had knocked out the power for a brief time. By 12:30 a.m., the power was restored and the Degree household was quiet. Aisha and her brother, who shared a room, had gone to bed as usual. At some point between 2:30 and 4 a.m., Aisha left her house, taking a small backpack filled with some of her belongings. A truck driver and another motorist later reported seeing her walking along North Carolina Highway 18, about a mile from her home. One driver even turned around, concerned about the young girl walking alone in the rain, but Aisha darted into the woods and was never seen again. Her family awoke later that morning to find her missing. Frantic, they searched the house and then the neighborhood before calling the police. Investigators found no signs of forced entry or foul play in the home. It appeared Aisha had left of her own accord, but why a 9-year-old would do so in the middle of a stormy night remained a mystery. Search efforts began immediately. Over the next several days, authorities combed the area, bringing in search dogs and volunteers. A few clues emerged. Aisha's hair bow was found near the road where she had last been seen, and months later, her backpack containing some of her belongings was discovered wrapped in plastic, buried in a wooded area 26 miles away in Burke County. The location was perplexing. There was no clear reason why her belongings would end up so far from home. Over the years, theories and leads have surfaced, but none have led to Aisha's whereabouts. Some believe she may have been lured away by someone she trusted, while others think that she was running away but fell victim to foul play. Her parents have never given up hope, holding on to the belief that she's still alive and out there somewhere. The case remains open, and authorities continue to follow up on tips in the hope of one day finding answers.
If she walked in the door right now, I wouldn't care what I miss. All I want to do is see her.
Aisha would now be 33 years old. There is
In the years since Aisha's disappearance, her family has worked tirelessly to keep her story alive. They hold annual walks in her honor, raising awareness and reminding the public that she has never been forgotten. Billboards and missing person posters continue to circulate, keeping her face in the public eye. Law enforcement remains dedicated to solving the case, periodically revisiting evidence and chasing new leads. The discovery of Aisha's backpack raised more questions than answers. Inside were some of her personal items, including a copy of Dr. Seuss's McElligot's Pool, a book that did not belong to her. This detail has puzzled investigators, suggesting the possibility that someone else may have been involved. Despite efforts to trace where the book came from, no definitive connections have been made. FBI agents, local law enforcement, and Aisha's family continue to ask for the public's help. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has released age progression images of what Aisha might look like today, hoping someone will recognize her. As technology advances, authorities are using new forensic methods to re examine the limited physical evidence they have. Aisha's case remains one of the most baffling missing person cases in North Carolina history. She was a bright, well loved girl who excelled in school and basketball. With no apparent reason to run away, her family continues to believe she's alive, holding on to faith that one day she will come home.
This evening, we are learning brand new details tied to Asha Degree's disappearance. So our team just got our hands on new search warrants a few hours ago, and now for the first time, investigators are saying they believe Asha was the victim of a homicide. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker has been sorting through the paperwork and joins us now with the latest.
In my hands, over 100 pages of search warrants released Monday, answering burning questions the community has had for over 2 decades, leaving us one step closer to really understanding what happened to 9-year-old Asha Degree. A cold case over 20 years ago, the disappearance of 9-year-old Asha Degree possibly cracked. According to nearly 100 pages of warrants released Monday, investigators found DNA on a shirt and backpack that belonged to Asha matched 2 people, Russell Underhill and Annalee Dedman. Investigators confirm Underhill was under the care of Roy and Connie Dedman on and off around the time of Asha's disappearance. Underhill lived at a facility owned by the Dedmans before his death in 2004. The other DNA match, Annalee Dedman, Roy's youngest daughter, was just 13 years old at the time of the disappearance. Investigators saying the only connection between the 2 people are Roy and Connie Dedman. This link is what prompted investigators to search the Dedmans' property last week. Right now, the Dedmans are the only people named as suspects in Asha's disappearance. This coming to light just days after Roy Dedman's attorney, David Teddy, told us his client had nothing to do with Asha's disappearance and suggested that someone else might be at the center of the case.
But I feel compelled because of the rampant conjecture and speculation. I think there will also be information in that search warrant that sadly will link a person to the circumstances of Asha's disappearance that is no longer living.
WCNC Charlotte reached back out to Teddy Monday in response to his client, Roy Dedman, named as a suspect. Teddy's office says he would not comment, but we caught up with him outside the courthouse. He says he saw the documents last week and reiterated that his client, Roy Dedman, had nothing to do with Asha's disappearance. There are a few questions left unanswered. We did reach back out to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, and they said that he is not taking any questions at this time. We also did reach out to the District Attorney's Office, and they did not get back to us. For now, in Cleveland County, Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.